The Galactic Council Hall was one of the grandest structures in the known galaxy. It floated above a blue-white nebula, built from silver stone, glowing crystal and living vines from 5 different planets. Millions of lights shimmered across its walls. It was a place where wars ended, alliances formed, and entire civilizations made decisions that shaped the future. But today the hall felt different. Today it felt tense. Rows and rows of alien leaders filled the circular chamber. Tall ones with shining scales. Short ones with smooth shells. Creatures made of energy, creatures made of metal, and creatures that breathed clouds of colored dust. Every seat was taken. Even the upper balconies were crowded with observers. Everyone had gathered for one reason. Earth had finally responded to the Council's invitation for peace. 4 months, the Council had sent messages, asking humans to negotiate after a long list of misunderstandings, border disputes, and mysterious attacks. Most alien species believed humans were peaceful by nature. Curious, friendly, always willing to talk before fighting. So the expectation was simple. Humans will agree to join the alliance. But as the chamber filled with whispers, something felt wrong. Something unseen. Something waiting. The council speaker, a tall being of transparent crystal, raised a glowing hand. "The human envoy is arriving," the speaker announced, voice echoing across the room. A hush fell instantly. All lights dimmed. A circular gate opened in the center of the hall, humming softly. Blue energy swirled around its edges. Every alien leaned forward. Some smiled. Some looked relieved. Others looked curious. Then she stepped out. Commander Rhea Morgan of Earth. She wore a simple dark uniform. No armor, no weapon, no symbols of rank. Her steps were calm. Her face carried no fear but no warmth either. Her eyes scanned the entire hall in one slow, controlled motion. Silence deepened further. A few aliens whispered softly. Humans always smile during peace talks. She looks different. Why does she look so serious? Rhea walked toward the center of the hall where a transparent table floated above the ground. Dozens of small holograms hovered over it, treaties, agreements, documents prepared weeks in advance. The council speaker addressed her warmly. "Commander Rhea Morgan, Earth has been invited to the negotiation table. Today we hope to create peace between your world and the Alliance." Rhea nodded politely, but her expression remained stone cold. The speaker continued, projecting a large hologram of a glowing star map. "These negotiations will benefit all species. Trade, defense, shared knowledge, open borders. We expect Earth will accept this alliance with honor." Rhea's eyes narrowed slightly as if she had heard something she didn't like. But she said nothing. The speaker lifted both crystal hands. "Commander, you may give Earth's official answer now." Every alien leaned forward at once. The hall was silent enough to hear the faint hum of the energy lights. 1,000 eyes blinked. 1,000 breaths held. Everyone expected a simple, diplomatic reply. A speech about peace. A smile. A small bow. A handshake. A new era of unity. But Rhea did none of those. She took one calm breath. Then she spoke a single sentence, only 6 words. A sentence that froze the entire hall. A sentence no one had expected. "Earth refuses your negotiations." Completely. Gasps exploded around the chamber. Some aliens stood up in shock. Others shouted in confusion. A few species changed color, their bodies glowing bright with emotion. One large reptilian delegate slammed his tail against the floor in disbelief. The speaker's glowing body flickered. "Commander, perhaps we misheard? Could you repeat?" Rhea looked him straight in the eyes. "Earth refuses." Again silence. A heavy, cold silence that pressed down on every living being in the chamber. No one understood. Humans were always the first to attempt peace. The first to offer help. The first to talk before violence. Why would they reject the alliance now? Why would they refuse negotiations? The speaker tried again. "Commander Morgan, this decision does not match human behavior. We expected cooperation. We expected understanding. For what reason does Earth refuse?" Rhea did not blink. "Earth has reasons," she said. "And you will know them soon enough." The mystery deepened instantly. Aliens whispered across the room. "Is Earth angry? Did someone attack them? Is this a threat? Are they hiding something?" The speaker tried to calm the chaos. "Commander, this is highly unusual. Peace is the goal of this council. Violence is not needed." But Rhea stepped forward slightly, her voice low but steady. "Peace requires trust." She paused. "And Earth does not trust this council." That sentence hit harder than a weapon. Shock rippled across every row. Some delegates stared with wide, glowing eyes. Others whispered to each other in panic. A few angry voices rose from the battle-born species. Trust? Why not trust? What did Earth discover? What did the Council hide? Rhea continued, still calm. We came here to deliver Earth's answer. That is all. Her voice did not shake. Her hands did not move. Her posture remained firm. It felt less like a refusal and more like a warning. The speaker's crystal body dimmed. Commander, we demand an explanation. Rhea met his gaze with a cold, quiet stare. You will have your explanation, she said. Very soon. And with that single line, she turned away from the table. The entire Galactic Council sat frozen, their questions piling like a storm waiting to strike. Something was wrong. Very wrong. And Earth knew something the Council didn't. The hall filled with rising fear. And the story had only begun. Commander Rhea Morgan's footsteps echoed across the smooth crystal floor as she walked away from the negotiation table. She did not hurry. She did not look back. She moved like a soldier who already expected everything that would follow. Behind her, the Galactic Council chamber exploded into noise. Voices rose. Tails slammed. Wings flapped. Energy creatures flickered with stress. The sound felt like thunder shaking the great hall. Rhea reached a small balcony at the edge of the chamber, still visible to everyone but slightly apart from the chaos. She stood there silently, hands behind her back, watching without reaction. The council speaker tried once again to bring order. Silence. Silence. Let us restore order. But no one listened. Dozens of alien species were arguing at once. A tall insectoid leader clicked his mandibles angrily. Humans have never refused diplomacy. What changed? A glowing energy being pulsed bright red. What if Earth is planning war? What if this is a warning? A broad, armored reptile growled deeply. Or maybe Earth found something. Something the council hid. That suggestion quieted a few voices. Some aliens exchanged nervous glances. Even those who didn't know anything suddenly wondered if someone else did. The council speaker banged his staff 3 times. Order. We must regain order. Slowly the noise settled, though fear still filled the hall. The speaker turned to Rhea again. Commander Morgan, he said, voice tight. Earth must explain this refusal immediately. Without clear reason, this act is hostile. Rhea didn't move. She simply replied, the explanation will come. But not from me. The hall went still. Not from her? Then from who? Whispers began again, quieter but sharper than before. Maybe their prime leader will speak? What if Earth has evidence? Evidence of what? Something dangerous. A thin mist-like alien floated closer to the speaker. Speaker, it said, voice echoing strangely, I sense disturbance. Humans do not act without cause. Something important is hidden from us. The speaker flickered with worry. This was turning complicated, fast. He called for a short recess. Delegates, we will pause for 40 minutes. Each species may consult privately. Commander Morgan, you will remain in the chamber. Rhea nodded once. No complaint. No emotion. As the council members filed out into private rooms and side halls, the massive chamber grew quieter, but the tension only grew heavier. Rhea stood alone near the center. But she wasn't truly alone. A quiet humming sound came from her wrist device. She touched it gently and whispered, status. A small hologram appeared, visible only to her. Earth fleet, fully prepared. Standing by in silent orbit. Awaiting your signal. She closed the hologram quickly before anyone could notice. Even without attacking, the presence of a human fleet near council space was a silent message. Earth was done being passive. She looked up at the glowing ceiling filled with shifting nebula colors. For a brief moment, emotion touched her eyes, sadness, maybe regret. Then she became stone again. In a private chamber nearby, alien leaders were arguing fiercely. This is a direct insult. We should arrest the human envoy now. No. Are you insane? Earth is dangerous. Dangerous? They are only one planet. One planet that defeated 3 empires last century. It was self-defense. That doesn't matter. A winged alien pointed toward the main hall. Did you see the humans' eyes? They are hiding something. Something big. A smaller, silver-skinned creature whispered. What if the council did something wrong? Everyone froze. No one answered. No one denied it either. Because somewhere, deep down, many suspected that certain powerful members of the council had secrets, dangerous secrets. Secrets Earth might have discovered. Back in the main hall, Rhea remained perfectly still. A few guards watched her from the corners, but she didn't mind. She expected it. After 20 minutes, the speaker returned with 6 senior council members. They walked toward Rhea with slow, measured steps. "Commander," the speaker said, "we demand pre-negotiation clarity. Earth must give reason for this refusal. Otherwise, we will consider this an act of aggression." Rhea turned to face them. "I already said," she replied, "Earth will give its reason. But not yet." One of the senior council members, a tall creature covered in blue feathers, stepped closer. "You are provoking fear in this hall," he hissed softly. "Speak now." Rhea didn't blink. "Fear?" she said. "Good. Fear makes people listen." The feathered alien recoiled slightly. Rhea continued. "You want truth? You are not ready for it." The speaker's crystal body dimmed. "You dare insult this council?" Rhea lifted her chin slightly. "No," she said. "I am warning you." Her voice carried no anger, only certainty. That confidence frightened the council more than any threat. Before the speaker could reply, a loud chime echoed through the hall. A message request. A bright hologram appeared above the center platform. It was from Earth, direct connection from the United Earth Command. All aliens froze. The speaker looked at Rhea, alarmed. "This message, did you request it?" Rhea shook her head. "No. This is something else." Her voice lowered. "This is the moment you learn why Earth refused." The hologram flickered once, then began to load. The entire council leaned forward in fear and anticipation. Something big was coming. Something the Alliance never expected. The quiet before the storm was ending. The hologram finally stabilized, bright, sharp, and unmistakably human. A symbol appeared first, a blue circle with 12 stars around Earth's crest. Then a calm, steady voice filled the council chamber. "Transmission from United Earth Command. Priority level, absolute." The aliens stiffened. Some flinched at the weight of those words. Absolute priority meant the message was not political, not diplomatic, it was serious, perhaps even war-related. Commander Rhea stood perfectly still, eyes locked on the projection. A human admiral appeared in the hologram. Tall, gray-haired, with the hard stare of someone who had seen too many battles. "Galactic Council," he began, "this is Admiral Talon Reed of Earth Fleet Command." His tone held no warmth, no softness, only cold purpose. Every alien in the hall watched in uneasy silence. "As of this moment," Admiral Reed continued, "Earth suspends all treaty discussions with the Galactic Alliance." Gasps swept the chamber. The large reptilian delegate rose in fury. "This is unacceptable. You cannot end negotiations without our approval." The Admiral ignored him. "Earth will no longer send ambassadors, envoys, or peacekeepers. We will not participate in joint missions. We will not accept council rulings." Murmurs turned into shouting. Is this a proclamation of separation? Is humanity abandoning the Alliance? This is dangerous behavior. Some aliens flashed colors of fear. Others showed anger in glowing eye rings or rattling tails. But Rhea remained silent, unmoved. The hologram continued. "We have evidence of a hostile act," Admiral Reed said. "A crime. A betrayal committed under the knowledge of certain council members. You will receive the full data package soon." The speaker's crystal body flickered. What betrayal? What crime? But before the hologram could answer, the image vanished. Just static. Then darkness. The message had ended. The entire hall erupted like a volcano. Dozens of alien leaders jumped up, shouting over each other. "This is an insult. How dare they accuse us? Earth must explain this immediately. Demand the envoy to speak. Arrest her. She is hiding something. No, don't. Humans are unpredictable." Then force the truth out of her. Rhea didn't move. She simply watched the chaos with calm eyes. Finally, after nearly 2 minutes of shouting, the speaker slammed his staff on the floor. The hall vibrated. Silence. One by one, the voices quieted. But the anger remained heavy in the air. The speaker turned toward Rhea, glowing with barely contained frustration. "Commander Morgan," he said, "Earth accuses this council of betrayal. Yet you offer no proof. This is a threat to the peace of the galaxy." Rhea took a slow breath. "Peace without truth," she said softly, "is only a lie." The feathered council member stepped forward angrily. "You human," he snapped. "You come here with accusations. You insult us. You frighten the Alliance. Tell us now what crime, what betrayal." Rhea stared at him with cold, steady eyes. No. That single word sent the room into another storm of outrage. No. She refuses again. This envoy mocks us. This could start a war. Humans think we fear them. The reptilian leader pounded the floor with his tail. You will explain or face consequences. Rhea finally spoke louder but still calm. Threats will not work. The reptile bared his teeth. We can imprison you. Rhea raised an eyebrow. You can try. Her voice was so calm, so confident, that several aliens suddenly stepped back. Why wasn't she afraid? Why wasn't she nervous? What did she know? The speaker tried again, more controlled but clearly stressed. Commander, we must understand Earth's position. We need clarity. If the Alliance has wronged your world, we must fix it. Rhea shook her head slowly. You cannot fix what you don't admit. The feathered alien shouted angrily. What do you want from us? Rhea looked around the hall, one species at a time. What Earth wants, she said, is honesty. Her eyes narrowed. And certain members of this council have none. That statement hit harder than a plasma weapon. Many aliens turned to the senior council members. Some whispered, is she talking about the hidden files? Did they keep secrets from us? Is this connected to the destroyed human ship? No. That incident was ruled an accident. By who? By the council, or by the truth? Suspicion spread like fire. The speaker tried to regain control. Commander, you are making dangerous claims without evidence. Rhea answered. The evidence is coming. She tapped her wrist device. A loud chime echoed through the hall. Incoming data transmission. From United Earth Command. To all council members. Encrypted package. Unveil protocol. Every alien froze. Unveil protocol? Even the oldest council members had never heard the term. The speaker's voice shook slightly. What is inside that package? Rhea looked at him without emotion. The truth, she said. The truth you have avoided. She stepped back, hands folded behind her. As soon as you open it, she added, everything will change. The speaker hesitated. Even he seemed afraid. But the council demanded answers. Open it, dozens of voices shouted. With a trembling crystal hand, the speaker activated the data package. The chamber lights dimmed. A massive hologram began to load in the center of the hall. Lines of text. Hidden logs. Classified reports. Sensor data. Ship IDs. Coordinates. Weapon traces. Then the title appeared in giant red letters. Unauthorized attack on human vessel. Cover-up report. Classified by council member level Omega. The hall went dead silent. Not a whisper. Not a breath. Only shock. Rhea finally spoke, her voice quiet but sharp as a blade. This is the beginning. Now you will see what you tried to hide. The anger in the hall vanished instantly, replaced by fear. Cold, deep fear. The truth was rising. And the council was not ready. The hologram in the center of the Galactic Council Hall expanded, glowing brighter than before. Every alien stared at the red headline projected in front of them. Unauthorized attack on human vessel. Cover-up report. Classified by council member level Omega. For a long moment, no one spoke. The air felt frozen, heavy with shock. Even the speaker, made of crystal and light, flickered uncertainly. Then the file opened. The first line appeared. Incident. Destruction of human research ship UHS Horizon. A collective gasp moved through the chamber. Everyone remembered the Horizon. A small exploration vessel, lost nearly a year ago near council space. The official report said. Technical malfunction. Explosion. No survivors. But the hologram showed something completely different. Footage loaded, grainy, recorded from the Horizon's backup sensor. A human scientist shouted, "We're under attack. Unknown ship approaching, wait, it's council design." Why? Static cut the voice. Then a blast of plasma fire struck the human vessel. More footage played. A council pattern warship hovered behind the Horizon, firing again and again until the screen turned white. Several aliens shouted in disbelief. That ship, it's ours. This is impossible. Who ordered this? That vessel should not have been in that region. The speaker tried to maintain control, but his voice trembled. This cannot be correct. This must be human manipulation. Rhea Morgan finally spoke, her tone calm but sharp. It isn't manipulation. It's raw sensor data from our ship, your ship, and the region's satellite grid. All synced. All verified. She stepped closer to the projection. and it shows the truth you tried to hide. The next part of the hologram appeared. Council internal notes, level Omega access only. A murmur rippled across the room. Level Omega was the highest secrecy classification. Only 12 beings in the entire council were allowed to see those files. Even the speaker only had access to level Beta. Rhea watched the council members' reactions carefully. Especially the older ones. Especially the ones who did not look surprised. The file continued. Directive. Public explanation will be technical malfunction. Evidence of council involvement will be removed. A wave of anger filled the hall. How dare the council hide this? We trusted our leaders. This is a crime against a member species. This is why Earth refused negotiations. The speaker's voice cracked. I had no knowledge of this. Rhea nodded. I know. Only a few did. She scanned the room with cold eyes. And they are sitting in this chamber right now. Dozens of aliens turned to glare at the senior council members. Some backed away. Others stood defensively, their bodies glowing with fear. The hologram shifted to the next section. Evidence removal orders. Ship logs modified. Sensor records deleted. Official story approved. A metallic alien slammed his fist against the table. Someone used our governments to attack humans, then wiped the truth. A winged creature screeched. Who gave the command? Who? A new name appeared on the hologram. Primary authorization, Counselor Varilox, level Omega. A tall, silver-armored alien in the front row froze. Gasps erupted. Varilox. He is one of the founding council members. He would never do this. Why would he attack humans? This is impossible. But Commander Rhea's eyes were fixed on him. Varilox tried to stand calmly, but his voice shook. This is fate. Humans are attempting to divide us. Rhea stepped closer until she stood only a few feet away from him. No fake file on Earth, she said, can override your own ship's security logs. The hologram shifted to a new entry. Varilox, personal log. Timestamp, 3 hours after attack. His recorded voice filled the hall. They cannot know. Humans are too bold, too fast, too strong. If we wait, they will overtake us all. The strike must look like an accident. No one must suspect the council. Silence. Absolute silence. Varilox's metallic skin flickered between silver and pale blue, his species' sign of panic. Dozens of alien leaders stared at him with disgust and betrayal. You attacked humans because you feared them? You killed innocent scientists? You tried to start a war? You lied to the entire council. Varilox backed away slowly. This is taken out of context. Rhea cut him off. There is no context where murder is acceptable. The room grew hotter with rising anger. Some aliens stepped toward Varilox with glowing weapons. Others shouted for his arrest. Some merely stared stunned. The speaker raised his staff. Guards, take Counselor Varilox into custody. But Varilox shouted desperately. You fools. Humans are dangerous. They grow faster than any species. They will replace us. I did what was necessary. Rhea's voice was ice. You murdered peaceful researchers. He pointed a shaking finger at her. And now you come here to humiliate us. To break us apart. Rhea did not react. The truth breaks what is already weak. The guards seized Varilox, dragging him from the hall as he screamed. You don't understand. Earth will dominate you all. You should fear them. His voice faded. The hall remained silent. Everyone turned to Rhea. No longer angry. No longer suspicious. Now they were afraid. Afraid of Varilox. Afraid of the truth. Afraid of what Earth would do next. Rhea finally spoke. Now you see why Earth refused negotiations. The speaker's voice was barely a whisper. What does Earth want now? Rhea looked at the crowd. Her answer was simple. Justice. And the hall realized. The real negotiation had not even begun. The chamber felt colder than before. Varilox had been dragged away, but the echo of his helpless screams still floated through the hall like a ghost. Every member of the Galactic Council sat frozen, their minds spinning with fear, shock, and disbelief. Humans had not only refused negotiations, they had come with proof of betrayal. Commander Rhea Morgan stood silently at the center. She did not smile. She did not show pride. She simply waited. She knew the council needed a moment to understand what had just happened. The speaker of the council looked older than ever. His crystalline body flickered so dimly that the lights around him automatically increased brightness to keep him visible. He finally spoke, voice trembling. Commander Rhea, We had no knowledge of this crime. We never approved such an attack. But now, he swallowed, now all Council worlds will fear Earth's answer. Rhea nodded slowly. That is exactly why I came. A ripple of unease spread across the room. A water-based alien bubbled nervously. What does she mean by that? A scaled diplomat whispered, Earth is preparing retaliation. A winged creature muttered, we must not provoke them. Rhea lifted her hand gently, and the chamber fell silent again. She spoke clearly, every word strong and steady. Earth is not asking for war. We are asking for truth, for justice, for respect. Some aliens sighed with relief. Others remained pale with fear. The speaker leaned forward. And, how does Earth expect us to do that? Rhea tapped her wrist console. A new hologram appeared, this time blue, calm and organized. United Earth response. Terms for peaceful resolution. Every alien exhaled in shock. Earth was offering peace? After discovering an assassination attack and a cover-up? It made no sense. The list showed 4 items. Full investigation of Counselor Varlox and all involved. Release of all classified data connected to the Horizon incident. Official apology to humanity. Immediate restructuring of Council security protocols. The aliens were stunned. No demands for territory. No demands for money. No military threats. Only accountability. A soft-skinned alien whispered, they want justice, not revenge? A mechanical being replied, this is strange. Any other species would declare war by now. A bird-like creature added, humans are unpredictable. The speaker turned toward Rhea. These terms, they are reasonable. Rhea nodded. They are the only way trust can exist between Earth and the Council. But then another elder counselor slammed his hand on the table. His scales flared red, the color of distrust. You expect us to believe Earth wants peace? Humans grow faster every century. Your technology leaps forward in decades while ours takes centuries. What if these demands are only the beginning? Rhea did not blink. If humans wanted the galaxy, we would not ask for an apology. We would simply take it. The chamber went dead silent. Several aliens looked at each other, horrified. She had said it so calmly that no one could tell if it was a threat or a fact. Then Rhea continued, her voice softer. But humans do not want your worlds. We want honesty. We want fairness. We want to build a future with the Council, not against it. Her sincerity made many aliens shift uncomfortably, not because she sounded frightening but because she sounded true. The speaker rubbed his crystal forehead. Commander, we must consider these terms carefully. But before we do. He hesitated, his voice shaking. There is one more question. Rhea waited. The speaker asked, what happens if we refuse? Silence. Absolute silence. Every alien leaned forward. Rhea exhaled and looked around the massive hall. The huge banners of hundreds of species waved above her. The galaxy's oldest government stood before her. And she gave the answer calmly. If the Council refuses responsibility, then Earth will withdraw from the Alliance permanently. Gasps filled the hall. A tentacled diplomat sputtered, but Earth is a key power. A winged alien cried, their absence will destabilize entire sectors. A robotic envoy buzzed, trade routes will collapse. Defense grid will weaken. Another shouted, half the frontier systems rely on human assistance. The speaker stiffened. You would walk away from the Council? Rhea held his gaze. If the Council protects criminals instead of justice, yes. The hall erupted into chaos. Shouting. Fear. Panic. Some aliens begged the speaker to accept Earth's terms immediately. Others argued that giving in would set a dangerous precedent. But one thing was clear. Humanity was no longer begging for a seat at the table. They were offering the galaxy a choice. A sharp alarm suddenly echoed through the hall. A guard rushed in panting. Speaker. Emergency message from the Outer Defense Network. The speaker straightened, worried. What is it? The guard swallowed hard. A fleet is approaching Council space. The room froze. Rhea did not react, but her eyes darkened. The guard continued. It's human. A storm of fear exploded in the chamber. Humans are invading. They planned this from the start. We are doomed. Prepare shields. Call the Armada. The speaker looked at Rhea with terror. What is this? You said Earth wanted peace. Rhea's expression remained unreadable. They do. Then why is your fleet here? Rhea stepped forward, eyes cold. Earth sent them, to make sure you choose justice. The entire hall realized. This was no longer diplomacy. This was Earth's final warning. The chamber trembled as the alarm continued to echo. Every alien felt the vibration in their bones, like a storm approaching from the far edge of the galaxy. A hologram flashed into the air, blinding white for a moment, then it stabilized. The screen showed the outer defense satellites and behind them, a massive fleet. Rows of dark, sharp-edged human warships filled the projection. Their hulls reflected no light. Their engines glowed with a cold blue flame. They moved with perfect military discipline, silent, aligned, and unstoppable. A whisper went through the council chamber like a cold wind. Humans sent their war fleet. Commander Rhea Morgan stood with her hands behind her back. She did not flinch. She did not deny it. Her calmness frightened the aliens even more. The Speaker of the Council looked as if his glowing crystal body might crack. "Commander, explain this," he demanded, voice trembling. Rhea looked him straight in the eye. "The fleet is here to ensure the truth is not buried. Not again." The chamber erupted. One alien shouted, "This is intimidation." Another screamed, "Humans are preparing for war." A third cried, "Activate planetary shields." Holograms around the room flickered to life, showing scrambling defense forces, panicked broadcasts, and emergency meetings across dozens of council worlds. Rhea lifted her voice, steady and clear. "This is not an attack. Earth has not fired a single shot. The fleet is holding position outside council space." The speaker pointed at the projection. "They are too close. They could strike at any moment." Rhea nodded calmly. "They could. But they won't, unless the council chooses to protect murderers instead of justice." Her words fell like heavy stones onto the chamber floor. A cold, heavy silence followed. A reptilian official hissed, "Do you think the council will act under threat?" Rhea answered softly, "I think the council will finally listen." The speaker looked down, overwhelmed. Meanwhile, the hologram updated again. The camera zoomed in on the fleet's flagship. A giant human warship, the UES Leviathan, appeared. Its hull was black as space itself, with glowing silver lines tracing its form like scars. The aliens gasped. "That ship can destroy a planet. That is the strongest human warship ever built." "They brought the Leviathan?" Even the speaker whispered, stunned. "Why send that?" Rhea answered, "To show how serious Earth is. Negotiations failed before. We will not let them fail again." A thin, insectoid counselor buzzed nervously. "You speak as if Earth no longer trusts us." Rhea's voice tightened. "Because Earth doesn't." The counselors looked at one another, fear rising like a tide. Rhea walked toward the center of the hall and stopped beneath the enormous dome of light. It cast a white glow around her, making her look like a shadow in the middle of the galaxy's seat of power. She began speaking slowly. "When Earth joined the Council, we hoped for peace, friendship, shared progress." Some aliens nodded, remembering old promises. But instead, our envoy was murdered. Our message was silenced. Our trust was abused. She looked around the chamber. "And now the Council wants to pretend nothing happened." The speaker slowly rose from his seat. "That is not true. We are simply overwhelmed." Rhea studied him. "Earth is also overwhelmed. But we do not hide behind fear." Another counselor, a bird-like alien with silver feathers, spoke shakily. "Commander, the fleet, it is much too large for a simple message." Rhea turned her gaze to the hologram of the Leviathan. "The fleet serves two purposes." She raised two fingers. "First, protection. If another assassination attempt happens, we can respond instantly." The aliens nodded uneasily. "And second?" the speaker asked. Rhea's eyes hardened. "To show the Council what Earth becomes, when pushed." A wave of fear crashed over the room. Some aliens lowered their eyes. Some clenched their claws. Some whispered prayers. The hologram suddenly flickered again. A new transmission. Audio only. A deep, calm human voice spoke. "This is Admiral Cade of the UES Leviathan. Commander Morgan, say the word." The entire chamber froze. Some aliens nearly fainted. The speaker's voice cracked. They await your order?" Rhea nodded once. "We follow protocol. And justice." A trembling water being cried out. "What if the Council refuses your terms? Will you command them to fire?" Rhea slowly turned toward the terrified alien. Her voice was soft. "If the Council refuses truth, Earth walks away. But the fleet will escort our delegation out of Council space. Nothing more." A stunned murmur filled the air. Commander Rhea added one final line. But if the Council strikes first, Earth will not hold back. The speaker felt the weight of those words like a mountain on his chest. His voice shook as he spoke. Commander Morgan, the Council must decide. Immediately. Rhea nodded. Yes. And Earth will accept nothing less than justice. The chambers dimmed. Emergency lights glowed red. Council members retreated to private pods for the final vote. Rhea remained standing alone in the center, and the entire galaxy seemed to hold its breath. Outside, the human fleet waited, silent, cold, and ready. The Council's decision would decide the future. War or peace. There was no middle path. The great chamber darkened as the Council members entered their private vote pods. For the first time in centuries, every one of those pods locked from the inside. No advisors. No guards. No assistants. Only fear. Only the truth. Only their vote. Rhea Morgan stood alone in the center of the silent hall. Above her, the giant hologram of Earth's fleet waited like a shadow of judgment. Outside, the UES Leviathan and its sister ships held their perfect formation, silent, cold, and powerful. The speaker approached Rhea before entering his pod. Commander, he whispered, voice trembling like broken glass, do you believe the Council will accept your terms? Rhea looked at him calmly. I believe the Council wants survival. That is enough. He nodded weakly and stepped inside. The pod sealed shut with a soft hiss. Now the chamber was empty. Rhea was alone with the quiet hum of ancient technology, and the distant glow of a fleet that could change the galaxy. The voting began. One by one, lights appeared above each pod. Red, reject Earth's terms. Blue, accept Earth's terms. Rhea's heart remained steady. She had trained herself long ago to show no fear, especially not in front of an entire galaxy. The first light blinked on. Blue. The second. Blue. The third. Red. Rhea watched silently as the colors flickered into existence across the hall. Blue, red, blue, blue, red. A cluster of pods lit up red all at once. Several species known for distrust of humans refused. But then a wave of blue lights followed from species who depended on Earth's trade, technology, and protection. The vote was split. Perfectly split. Half the hall glowed blue. Half glowed red. The speaker's pod remained dark. He was the final vote. A single decision would decide everything. War or peace. Unity or destruction. Trust or fear. The speaker's pod slowly opened. He stepped out, not with fear but with exhaustion. His crystalline body flickered like a candle in a storm. Every council member turned toward him. Even though they were in private pods, their holographic images projected above the chamber. Speaker, one alien said nervously, the decision rests with you. Another hissed, choose wisely. Earth watches. Another whispered, the galaxy watches. The speaker's eyes met Rhea's. For the first time that day she saw anger in them, anger not at Earth, but at the corruption within his own council. He raised a trembling hand toward the central console. Before I cast the deciding vote, Commander Morgan must hear something. He motioned for Rhea to step forward. She did. The speaker spoke loudly so the entire chamber could hear. Humanity is young, yet you have grown stronger than every empire here. You rise faster. You learn faster. And today, you show more honor than many who call themselves ancient. Some aliens shifted uncomfortably. You could have demanded revenge, the speaker said. You could have declared war. You could have taken advantage of fear. He looked at Rhea with deep respect. But instead, you asked for justice. Rhea said nothing. The speaker's voice grew firm. And for that reason, I cast my vote. He pressed the console. Above his pod, a blue light appeared. The chamber erupted in shock. Dozens of alien holograms gasped. Some cheered in relief. Some collapsed in disbelief. Others wept. But the result was clear. Blue outnumbered red. Earth's terms were accepted. The speaker raised his hand for silence. By majority vote of the Galactic Council, we hereby recognize humanity's demand for justice. A full investigation will begin at once. Varlox and all involved will face judgment. Earth will receive an official apology. And Council security will be restructured. Rhea closed her eyes for a single moment. Not in relief. In respect, for the millions back on Earth who were waiting for this moment. The speaker bowed his head. The Council is grateful that Earth still chooses peace. Rhea finally spoke. Earth chooses fairness. Suddenly, another hologram appeared in the air. Admiral Cade. He stood on the bridge of the UES Leviathan, arms behind his back, expression unreadable. "Commander Morgan," he said, voice deep and steady, "do we stand down?" Rhea looked at the speaker, then at the hundreds of alien holograms around her. She answered clearly, "Yes, Admiral. Stand down. Earth accepts the Council's decision." A ripple passed through the chamber, this time relief, not fear. The Admiral nodded once. "To all ships. Pull back to observation distance. Weapons cold. Prepare for return route." The human fleet shifted in perfect synchronization. Their engines dimmed. Their weapons powered down. The storm had passed. But its warning remained. The speaker approached Rhea, voice soft. "You have changed the Council today, Commander?" Rhea shook her head. "Not me. Humanity." He smiled faintly. "Humans, you truly are full of surprises." Rhea looked at the fading hologram of the Leviathan. "Then I hope the galaxy is ready. Because humans will not be silent again." The chamber stood in awe of her words. Not a threat. Not a promise. The truth. A new era had begun. One where humanity no longer stood at the edge of the galaxy. They stood at its center. And the galaxy would never forget the day. The Galactic Council expected negotiations. But humans refused. And changed everything.